All right, we're back with another episode of Nanteleod's Legacy Pendragon. Year 499, our fifth episode in 499. Apparently 499 was a long one. Probably could do something with 2 hour sessions and breaking it up into two different groups. Might be a
Sorry.
sign for the future. No, it's good. Whatever. It happens. As long as it doesn't happen every week. I think it's fine. So, and it won't, because kings and lords and stuff. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's do some introductions. We can dive right into our fun stories. We'll start with Yampa.
Um, Hello, I am Yampa, aka Saroon, the Spear Breaker. Hyped to be back.
Awesome. Wergar.
Guys, we're here playing Sir Collis, and definitely looking to see if the rest of the group would be willing to join Sir Collis on a small little quest.
Understood. I think it's highly likely. We'll go to Drax.
Alright, I'm Drax, playing as Sir Rain, and yeah, curious to see how well my character's mending after the horrible fall he had last time.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything's fine. Bert.
It is Bert. I will be playing Sir Cormac, the humble pilgrim, at least until I make it to Glastonbury.
Awesome. And we have a return of Trent. Trent, what's up?
Hello, I've returned, both IRL and in-game. Well, maybe in-game yet to be determined, but looking forward to it nonetheless.
Indeed. And our unfortunate fumbling squire from last time, Cyberbro. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Cyberbro, playing Lucius, and he's a sad buddy. But he's a sad panda today.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Did we roll for the number of days you got to suffer through that too?
I think so. I think we 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4 plus. Yeah, 4 plus 5. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. All right.
Yeah, he's listening to the Smiths.
I like it. This is Morrissey all day long. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's dive in where we left off. I'm gonna do something in the future. I didn't get time to set it up today, but I'm thinking I'm gonna give a few different ways that streamers can interact, and the only rule will be is you're not allowed to I'm gonna ignore a spend of those points if you do it for someone while you're in the scene with them, but I'm gonna allow for advantage on one roll, things like that. A few different ways that this stream can interact, and I play on a game every week where the players or the chat can literally fireball you and do all sorts of stuff. I'm not gonna do that. I just we've only got 2 hours to begin with. I'm not gonna have you guys get knocked out, eat shit and fall off your horse every 2 minutes. Even that will happen anyways. All we have to do is roll in Pendragon, and that's bound to occur. We don't even need the assistance. However, assisting with, I think no one hates getting an occasional roll 2 d20s and take the best of the two. So we might allow the the viewers to participate that way. That's my goal. That's what I'm thinking. But I'll mull it over a bit more, and then I'll implement it if I like. Okay, so we're gonna pick up, I think, with our duo leaving Bath and heading towards Glastonbury. And for this, I'm gonna get Cyberbro and Bert, if you can both roll me a D100 each, please.
No problem. All right, 40. That's a number.
It is a number.
I don't like the vibe of 40.
Really not feeling it today. All right. Okay, that's an interesting one. I can work with that. I'm sure that'll be fine. Okay. You ride for. I'm gonna just look at distances here. Let's take a look at Somerset. How long? Let's go with Bristol because that's a real city. Or Bath. Bath will work. Go with Bath to Glastonbury directions. Let's see how long we're talking here. And this is modern with roads, but I'll do like the walking thing, and it should give us a relative understanding of just how far this is. Bath and Glastonbury's real. Okay. By real, I mean modern, but also potentially real depending on place. 9-hour walk in modern days. In Pendragon time, that's probably a couple of days journey, so not that much overall. A couple of days to a week, given the weird roads, the forests, and not having modern day GPS systems that guide you, plus finding safe havens and such. Your first couple of days of travel, Cormac and Lucius, other than Lucius being probably relatively quiet, would you say, for this portion of the
Yeah.
trip?
Yeah, relatively quiet.
Yeah.
I'm
Aside
not
from
gonna let you
that,
poke around like this. We're on a pilgrimage to see the Holy Grail, whether it's there or not. We're at least going to Glastonbury, where Joseph of Arimathea landed upon the Isle. We should be upbeat about this. Think about your family.
That, that I
Like,
apparently don't know
about
who my
all
family is.
the
I
great things we shall be doing, that we are doing. Think about the fact that you are here, proving yourself worthy of being a knight.
So Pilgrim, I appreciate your words. I'm just reflecting on my recent failings.
It is not a failing on you, it is a failing on them. They have shown themselves to be dishonorable.
I will
And
say
while it
this,
would
Cormac.
be,
If you continue down this road of encouragement, you are going to be forced to roll a pull him out of.
I'm trying to pull them out.
Okay, just wanted to be sure.
I am
Just wanted
trying to
be
pull
sure.
them out.
Okay, just wanted to be sure because you're out of character.
You
Right?
just want to suplex somebody. I'm onto you.
Seems like some awful horse.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. From the top rope. As my witness, he's broken in half.
Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
yeah. And while it is great if you find a way to forgive them, at some point you do have to come to terms with the fact that while they were wrong in what they did and cruel, they were not necessarily wrong in what they meant. A knight, more so than any man, does have to stand on his own 2 feet. You have to meet these dishonorable curs, not just slink away.
That is true, sir. That is very true. I
If there's anything I can ever instill upon you, it is that valor is more important than merely the capability of being valor, the capability of fighting.
write that down.
It is not being without fear, but overcoming of fear.
So I think what we'll do in this, Bert, is determining what you're testing.
There's a lot of good choices, and as much as I'd love to use anything, I think Valorous is the one that's going to fit the best.
Okay, give me a sec here. I gotta look up gaining, lowering, initial.
Because it's trait or passion, right?
Yes. I'm trying to remember what you can
Okay.
test against. Um,
I thought it was testing against his
Against the passion that
failed
failed.
passion.
yeah, I think what I typically do. I do this. The game book doesn't, but it's been my house rule. It's the passion you fail with. I allow for the melancholy negative on top of it. So rather than like, for example, he failed what honor was it?
Yep, it was honor.
Yeah. So honor is 15, so it'd be a 15 with a modifier of -5. So a 10. The reason being that you're melancholic, and if you can't pull on that passion to be honorable, I don't see why you would. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
it gives the person, it makes it less likely for people to be power bombed for trying. Is one reason I do that, and then the second reason is I think it just makes sense. So,
So then, do you want me to test honor with the -15 modifier? -5.
-5.
Yep.
yeah,
Okay. And then my honor was lowered from 15 to 14 last game. So
that's
let's
also
see.
true. So 14 -5 is what you're rolling.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All right, let's see.
that's
Interesting.
that's good. That's good for you, and that's also good for you. Okay, so you are pulled out of your melancholy. This doesn't inspire you; it just pulls you out of your funk. You feel better
Okay.
on the trip. And if you need something in character, like if you're like, "Hey, that won't do it, Bert, that doesn't make any sense," you can workshop it with him. Like if you don't feel like that would motivate your character, you can workshop it with him a little bit. But otherwise, we'll assume it did.
I'm good with
Give
it.
me a few minutes. I'm sure I can compose something for you.
Oh, yeah, go for it, man.
But that's just what I got, man. That's just off the dome.
Now that we've gotten to the point where you've helped your dear friend and colleague, I need hunting rolls from both of you.
Yay!
You've been on the straightforward path south, as mentioned, and then the path got a little more foresty and got a little less straightforward.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good sign.
Oh, thank goodness. Because I failed.
Hey, look at this.
I'm not a hunter.
Okay.
By the
You
way,
may not be a
Lucius,
hunter,
are
sir,
we,
but
are
you
we
are a
where
good
we're
man.
supposed to be? I think I'm lost.
I'm just gonna check one quick thing here.
Potentially. I was lost for a moment, but your words they've affected me, and I thank you for them.
I am here. I am here to serve, to and to learn.
As am I.
I need you both to make an awareness test for me.
That's a success.
Okay. Failure.
All right. You hear the faintest sound, Cormac. To Lucius, You hear it, but it doesn't. You just register it as like a distant noise. It doesn't. But Cormac, you swear you hear a voice. It sounds like someone calling for help. It's very faint. Help me. Help me.
For a moment, I'm gonna wait and listen to make sure that I'm not just imagining things. And I'm sure Lucius just keeps talking and talking because that's his way, which is fine. But as it becomes more and more apparent that it's not just a trick of the illusion or anything like that, Cormac's gonna hold up his hand. Lucius, do you hear that? I think somebody's in trouble. And with that, he's going to try to follow that voice.
Lucius will follow behind.
Good call.
Okay. The two of you.
Unless it's Squiddier, then we leave him there.
The two of you kind of go off the main road a little bit, and you kind of find the source. Like you're following a trail, and you see someone's built like a cage made out of some sort of metal, and there's a person hanging in the cage. It's a woman. She looks like real sort of starved, like so she's malnourished. She looks like she would be beautiful if not for her gauntlets.
Hey, Lucius.
Help me. The cage is made out of metal, and it's a bit beyond like you've probably seen some torture devices of some sort. It's not quite the stockades we might recognize from like medieval times. This is still the 6th century, 5th century right now. Literally the last year of it, but so.
Is it like hanging in the air, or is it on the ground?
It's hanging from a tree, a thick tree branch, about 10 feet up.
So there's a maiden in the tree.
Yes. I can see that there. Do me a favor and grab a blanket and some of the rations. I'm gonna see if I can't bring the cage down before we bust it open.
At once, sir. And Lucius runs off to gather the the blanket and the blanket and the rations.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Exactly where Lucius's mind is on. Cormac, on the other hand, is going to see about bringing the cage down.
Okay.
So
how do you want to do that? Climb up?
Is it something that I'd be able to like reach above my head, grab, and see about bringing down on top of me to
It's
sort
about
of cushion
10,
its fall?
10 feet up, so not very easily.
Not quite.
You would need some support to do that for sure.
I'd need a horse.
Is the cage when the cage is hanging from the branch? Is it like a pulley, or is there a long rope tied to the tree, or is it just cage rope tree?
It is a like a series of ropes, and it's done like a pulley mechanism, right? So it's using the leverage of the tree to pull it over. Yeah, it's possible that if you're to cut the ropes and have someone up there, and then like you could probably work out. It's probably a 2-person plus job would make it easier. It's just one of those type of things, but you could try it solo if you wanted.
I mean, unless I can, like, when Lucian gets back, we're gonna 2-person this.
It's Lucius, sir. He says as he returns.
Lucius. Fantastic. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna climb up there. And I'm going to lower the cage down for you. But I need you to cut the rope. All right?
This thing I will do.
Give me a moment to get up there, and then we'll go ahead and take care of this. Give us just a wee bit of a moment, Mom, and we'll have you down from here in no time.
before you go up, sir, could this have been some sort of trap? We are in Summerland, and this is a land of fairies and witches.
If
Fairy
it's a
lore or
trap,
folklore.
boil.
I'll accept either, and I'll give you a different outcome based on what you roll.
Okay, fairy lore or folklore? I'm gonna go folklore because my fairy lore is low. Ah,
So close.
yes, we have to get the maiden out the tree. He
If
scuttles
it
over
was a
to.
trap,
You can entirely
I
be
would rather trip
suspicious.
the
I was just
trap for
gonna
doing
give
the
you.
right thing
Yeah.
than ignore it for doing the wrong.
You can entirely
Tell me
be
too.
just because you don't have a specific story doesn't mean you don't. You can always be suspicious of anything. In fact, there's a little trait on your sheet that allows you. So, um,
Okay.
Bert, what are you testing? Are you testing one of the two, folklore or fairy lore?
Ah, uh, I'll do Fairy Lord just because I think it'd be funny if I actually succeeded. Nope.
No, it was a good try. 1 out of 20 chance, or 5 out of 20. What am I looking for? 5% chance. Is what I meant to say. 1 out of 20. There we go.
But it would be more funny if I actually succeeded.
Yeah. Nevertheless, I will get you to do probably. I will allow either a strength -2 or a dex test for like climbing the tree successfully. And the -2 is just
I will
because
do.
strength alone doesn't necessarily keep you up in a tree. Bit of balance to
We
it.
should get into the tree. Alright. I will do a strength test -2.
Okay. Yeah, you climb up to the tree. You get to the right spot. You manage to get some leverage on the part of the rope that you feel like you could help lower it down. And all you need is Lucius to cut the rope and help you bring it down.
Lucius,
Yes, sir.
before you cut the rope, see if she give her some of the trail rations that we've got.
The cage is in the tree, sir. Shall I throw the trail rations into the cage at her?
I mean, you're on a horse.
Okay. Lucius will attach a trail just a trail ration to like a spear or
Yeah.
something, and just be like, here, bud, here, ma'am,
Okay.
it's food on a stick.
You see her hand reach out and she quickly grab. It's like slow at first, and then she grabs it real quick, and you can't really see like above to see inside very well. But like, you could see her at an
Don't you?
angle, but you're right beneath her right now. So
Gotcha. Don't eat it too fast; you'll choke on it. It's quite dry.
yes,
Yeah.
And
See?
with that,
thank you.
all right. Fantastic.
All right.
Let's see about getting this rope cut now.
Lucius goes up to the rope and cuts it
All
as
right.
instructed.
Just out of amusement, Lucius, give me a dagger roll. Give me a +10.
+10 to Lucius' dagger roll. Dagger.
Obviously, you're going to be successful. This is a matter of is anything else? Is it complicated? Does it take a while? Those sorts of things.
Gotcha. Submit.
Good. Yep. And your base is a 5 normally, right?
Yes.
You may take it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Lucius the dagger.
All right. Now comes the fun part because we need Bert to do a strength roll to hold this thing and lower it down gently. No penalty. -1 actually. So you are still trying to hold your balance.
So, I'd like to test my honor.
You may do so. Done.
All right then.
Lucius will run over off the horse with the blanket and the more rations to try to get her out of the cage once the cage is safely on the ground.
Right. It does look like it's like um bound, probably with it looks like a chain, like rather than an actual. It's not like a lock and key mechanism. It's the chain is keeping the door stuck.
If only we had a hammer of some kind. I really don't want to mess up my dagger.
She's like very faint, and she's like, "Please help me out of here."
No worry, ma'am. When Sir Cormac comes back down, he'll know what to do.
Down the tree you go. I'm not gonna make you roll again for down the tree.
Yeah. What's the actual like? It's metal, but is it like sturdy metal, thin metal? Is it rusted metal?
It's pretty standard. Yeah, pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not rusted. It's not. Yeah.
All right then. Then what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and see if I can't break the chain.
What are you going to use?
Well, always go with the most impressive first, right? So my bare hands, just kind of poke it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is very difficult. I will give you a -10, just straight brawn roll. Let's see if you can just pull it off. You are impassioned right now. It's possible it breaks free. I think realistically, it's not you breaking a chain open. Like, people aren't superhuman in this game. It'd probably be more like, you end up pulling at a weak spot and it kind of comes undone, that kind of thing. So using your strength still very much. It's just that human limit. So
If he does this, Lucius is just gonna pass around town. Oh, he's the breaker of chains. He broke. I saw it with my eyes.
I mean, you did talk me out of using my once a year. Oh, I didn't even need to.
Perfect. All right. The chain breaks free.
With the strength of Joseph and Arimathea.
I didn't think Joseph was super strong. I
With,
thought that was Samson.
Samson. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. God has graced me with many great talents. Singing is among my best. But he also made me incredibly big, which is why I'm a knight. Anywho.
The door swings open. She's got like a real simple like fur on, very gaunt. And she comes out. She's got like she's got dark hair. It's long, kind of unkempt, and she kind of like almost falls out of the cage. She breathes and she kind of holds the ground. Freedom. Thank you both.
With her coming out, I do offer my hand as I grab for the blankets, and she's on the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and cover her with the blanket. Keep her warm. It is still kind of cold.
She's like, yeah. Your names. What are your names?
I am but a simple pilgrim. A man on his way to Glastonbury. On pilgrimage to the cathedral there. This is Lucian.
Lucius, sir.
Yes, this is Lucian.
I love it. She's like, oh. Pilgrim. Lucius. Lady Alabaster will not forget this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any more that we may do for you? We can escort you into town and make sure that you are kept after.
I would appreciate that.
Would it be folklore? Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. What are you testing?
I want to test if I know that name, Lady Alabaster.
Yep, you can do a. I will accept a folklore, a fairy lore, or a recognize.
Okay. I have a folklore of 10. I recognize 10. Let's do
I go for
folklore.
the meme.
Folklore. Submit. Nice. Nice.
Oh, am I still impassioned for this? Or is that a different scene?
Yeah. Yep, no, it's the same scene.
I'm gonna go fairy lore because I think it's funny if he happens to know it.
Alright, if those are both 5 or below normally, naturally, then you can take them. Give me 1 sec.
Mine is 10 naturally, so no tick, but that's cool. Folklore. Sir Cormac Break of Chains knows of fairies and witches too.
It's not that I know of this stuff, it's not just well read.
You
There are
you are
plenty of songs about beautiful fairies and maidens and everything like that. Believe me, Gwydyr's made me memorize most of all of them so that he can serenade women with them.
It has been and continues to be my honor to escort you on your pilgrimage.
Well, thank you.
I think in this case, both of you've never heard of a lord or a lady alabaster. Bert, as Cormac kind of like broke the chain and the door swung open and she falls out and stuff, you kind of put your hands on the cold iron cage that she was in, and you start to go, oh, I've heard of that with fairies, and you've also heard of Summerland being one of those places where, you know, where people swear they encounter fairies. So a lord or lady alabaster might be someone of nobility of the fairies, perhaps.
Meh. It is not my place to judge anybody. Jesus commanded his servants to be kind to all, to render aid to all, and that is how I live my life, rendering aid to any who need it.
Any indeed. I thank you both. Wells is not far from here. You could escort me there, but if it is of great, I can find my way alone if you are busy. I do not wish to pull you from your
Nay.
path.
Nay, allow us to escort you. Lucius, let her
Sir.
ride, if she wishes.
Do you wish for a ride, ma'am?
I would be thankful. Thank you. With that,
Okay.
she'll take your offer. I'll give you guys like 2 more minutes, and then I want to cut away. So if there's anything you want to say to her on the way to Wells.
Lady Alabaster, might I ask, how is it you ended up inside the cage to begin with?
Asking that question after releasing her. Sorry.
There are terrible things in the forest gloom. Those that have raised castles against Salisbury, the county just beside this one. one of which is a Spriggan by the name of Jedge. His mortal allies did this to me.
It is a shame that they did this to you, ma'am. No one should have to go through that.
I would have surely perished if not for the two of you. I owe
God
you a
likely
great
placed us. Nay. God placed us on your path to render aid. And we shall continue rendering aid.
You will always be welcome in my father's castle.
I appreciate that. And if you're ever in Carlion, I'd be happy to show you hospitality there as well. Now you say this Jedge is a Spriggan? And that his human allies placed you in the cage?
Indeed. Summerland is a strange place. A place where the Unseelie and the folk of here work together.
Is this Jedge... What is his reasoning for doing this to you? Is it revenge or some sort of malice he visits upon all who cross him, or is it merely just you specifically?
Summerlin does not like outsiders.
Less heartening for an outsider like myself.
You are close now, if Glastonbury is your purpose.
It is my purpose. But I have more than enough time to escort you to Wells.
And we'll say that the scene kind of starts to will fold away. Any parting shots there, Lucius or Cormac?
No, he's just just enthralled by Sir Cormac, Breaker of Chains.
I will say that as the conversation sort of dies down, Cormac starts singing again.
Lucius will join him. He will join him.
All right. And we will give you what is go with there. Give me a sec.
I mean, nobody really saw it, so.
No.
But they'll know about it.
Not glory.
When we get back, they'll know. The second we see Gwydir, Sir Cormac freed a sparrow from a tree, and he broke a chain, and just.
Do you have Cormac, do you have merciful or cruel checked on your pilgrimage?
Pilgrimage. Hold up. So I have merciful.
Okay. You can take generous as part of your pilgrimage, and Lucius, you can do the same as a tick, though. In your
Dick.
all right, we're gonna visit.
I already have. I'm sorry for interrupting. I already have generous ticked.
You can take merciful then. I'll accept that. Wasn't like the opposite of like cruelly walking by, you know.
I have a merciful tick too. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Hold up. Do you have merciful for the pilgrimage ticked, or do you just?
Well, he's not on a
merciful
pilgrimage.
ticked?
He's not here for what
okay,
you're
never
here
mind.
for. Yeah. But what we'll say is sure I can find something here.
Just maybe?
Yeah, I'll give just. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And do you have courtesy tick?
I do not.
You can take that too.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna fold back up to our friends over there in our line. We're gonna zoom in. I think on. I think Collis is probably the best. Best person to start with. Oh, is this Has Rune got something they need to get out of the way?
Well, you said he's the best.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, we're refuting the wording. I understand. Um, so I think Wergar's gonna probably try to rope in the two remaining knights that are present in Escavalon on a little quest here. So let's zoom in on and see what Collis is actually doing. But,
I think Sir Carlos would have just left the investigating night
mm-hmm.
and likely go right back to the turning field, pondering the idea of just what is really going on in Escavalon, especially with the details that he just heard.
Okay.
So he would try to find Sir Rune and Sir Rain if the tournament is over by the time he gets back.
Yeah, and good news. Both of them are no longer participating in the tournament when you get to the tourney fields. So,
Yeah, great.
you arrived just in time to hear that Sir Justin is the victor. There will be a great celebratory feast tonight
Yay.
for him.
Hoorah, Sir Justin. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If they're probably like closer together, Sir Carlos says, "Sir Rain, Sir Rune, I see that you are not on the field still. If you have the time, would you come by my family's apartment and meet with me?"
I see no reason not to. There's nothing else for me here.
I suppose I could do such. He's kind of, you know, has like a little bit of a wheeze, perhaps. As he's, trying to breathe a bit.
All right, you got a big hit on you, didn't you?
Yeah, he did right when he got unhorsed.
What's your wounds right now?
I don't know. They didn't update, but it was enough to take a major wound, so it was
You took a
just
major wound?
barely over. Yeah, I did. I need
Right.
surgery, so.
Surgery. Okay.
Yeah, you said I had some broken ribs or something.
Yeah.
Yep. So as long as you can manage some light, movement and stuff, and not nothing drastic, you'd be fine with trying to do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, since you two agreed, please meet me in about an hour at my family's apartments. Please take the time to refresh yourselves in the meantime. And then Sir Carlos will walk back to his family's apartments.
Okay, so Rune and Rain, if you have any damage, you can do your Squire test first off to see if you get a little bit back. I know that doesn't solve Rain's surgery need, but start with that.
Nope.
Wow, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, your squires are just. Your squire doesn't know how to help your broken ribs, Rain, and I think Rune, it's like bruising, and your squire's like, I did. So you don't have a lot of damage, do you, Yampa?
I have 18 out of 31.
Oh, that's good. That's
Fantastic
significant. That is
squire right now.
That is significant. Yeah, I didn't
I
think
mean,
you
that's
quite.
more than what I had total. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
I don't know. I have to look back at the log. I might have had more than that.
It has to be whatever your major wound score is.
That's only a 13 for me. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, could have been. Let me just see here.
I have a total of 32 hit points available. So whatever that wound was. So.
Okay.
I mean, Matic could take his shot.
Collis, you can do a first aid test. I just want to see if you recognize that both aren't in tip-top shape right now.
Alright, first aid.
No.
I mean, they look beat up, but I don't think you quite recognize how beat up they are. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah.
You
Makes
mentioned
sense.
Damage.
I see something. No, I'm not going to see that.
Actually, that does raise a question. How exactly do we get wounds back? Is it just resting? Is it? Do we have to?
There's a healing rate score, and the way that Pendragon treats it is every Sunday you get your healing rate back. After, in the case of surgery, after surgery is done, or else you can suffer additional negatives while that's not done.
Okay.
There's also aggravation, which is, insisting on activity when you should be resting.
Okay. Because Sir Carlos is still injured himself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Realistically, if you were to give it a week, you get your healing rate back, and they would give Rain enough time to have his surgery. Since you're right here in a major city, shouldn't be a problem. And it's ribs. It's not something like gigantic. So, but why don't we do the meeting amongst you all first and figure out what exactly you're after?
Alright. Sir Carlos will lead Sir Rain and Sir Rune into his family's apartments and into sort of like a side room that has kind of sparsely furnished, maybe has like a small table in it and 3 chairs. Please, Sir Rain, Sir Rune, sit. I do have something to discuss that should not leave this room. And then Sir Carlos will nod to his squire, Ileworth, to close the door.
Ileworth will do so.
Sir Rain kind of eyes the building a bit as he's walking into it, being spoken to, and he kind of raises a brow at what Sir Carlos is saying, but does take a seat a little gingerly. I don't want to aggravate anything.
Noted. Drax, you are a little softer than normal. Or maybe I just had you. Maybe I had you lower in it last time. Let me just check.
I'll check on my end too, just in case.
Okay. Yeah, I had you slightly lower. That might. Can you talk now?
Testing.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds better. Sorry. All right. Sorry for the interruption. You guys can go ahead.
I'm good. I recently asked the investigating officer of who's residing over the attack on Sir Cerdic, the assault on him, and I came across some very intriguing information after prodding into his, let's say, potential obfuscation of evidence. Forget exactly what all happened. But Sir Carlos will definitely regale them about what the other knight told him about everything that he found out, pretty much. I'm having a hard time remembering what all was said.
You're muted, Bob.
I don't want to necessarily put too many pieces together for you, but I'll give you what, kind of what the gist of it was, and let you roll from there in your own words. You learned the knight's name, and you learned that the attacking knight's name, the assaulting knight's name was Sir Nud. You remember? And that you had asked this Sir Gwyn, which is the one that you were was in charge of the investigation. You were kind of poking around what he learned, and he suggested that Sir Nud and a number of other knights had some sort of falling out with Nanteleod's father, Mudrun, when Mudrun was king. And Nud is a vassal knight in Hereford, which is that forest to the north, the one you guys went into on episode 1, that forest. You had I can't remember what drew you there in character, but you had come to some sort of suggestion. Is Finnegan, the one you found in the forest, is he the result of some kind of was there some sort of an affair, and did it lead to Finnegan? And I think all that Sir Gwyn provided you, being a foreign knight, is that he has speculations it's something of the sort. There's some sort of scandal being covered up. Two of the knights that had a falling out with Madrun, one of them is Sir Nud, that just kicked the crap out of your seneschal, and the other is the knight that killed that had Finnegan captive and killed the former, what was it, Jessica or whatever. So I forget his name off the top of my head.
Orlando.
Orlandus, yeah.
Orlandus.
Okay. Sir Carlos will sort of start from the beginning when he talked to Sir Gwyn, and sort of slowly, almost seems like he's increasing in tempo as he talks, as he's starting to get his feet under him, and is having this sort of talking about this narrative and how he thinks it's going. Sir Nud is the culprit that Sir Gwyn was able to find out, and it seems like he was one of King Madrun's previous knights, along with it seems that Sir Madrun and Sir Nud had some form of falling out, along with another knight, Sir Orlandus, which you may remember when we went into the forest to the north of Carline, where we found little Finnegan and that curious lady. But it seems that Sir Nuds is holed up in Hereford. I remember that we didn't reach that city. However, we definitely knew of its presence. It seems that he's some form of vassal knight in the area. Now, if I am to be honest, and Sir Collis will raise his hand that has the ring on it. Taking these rings, we involuntarily entered into some form of knightly brotherhood. And I would ask for your assistance in this endeavor to try and figure out what exactly is going on in Escavalon. Because we've had previously a brutal murder outside of the feast hall, and now one of the king's officers has been badly beaten. This can't be all coincidence.
Serene has a sort of he's quiet and he's got this thoughtful expression as he's listening. And after a moment, he speaks up. So, are you trying to sort out why the attack is happening, or are you trying to deal with the rumors that are being spread by this other knight that you spoke with? I guess I'm curious what your goal is here.
Well, I am asking for your help in bringing Sir Nud back to Carline for questioning. I'm hoping to try and do this somewhat without garnering King Nanteleod's oversight. Because it seems like, as I said, there seems to be some form of scandal that likely took place. And I don't think that King Nanteleod would be all too kind to see us poking around. However, this may end up, with the information that Sir Nud may provide, this may help us put an end to some of the rumors that may be taxing the king.
And if it doesn't, what would you do then?
Then we offer Sir Nud up on a platter as the culprit and let him see justice and let that be done. And the scandal falls back into obscurity.
Do we have concrete evidence that the Sir Nud is the culprit? And if so, why not bring King Nanteleod? If we show up in Hereford without his blessing, how are we to capture this Sir Nud without unnecessary bloodshed?
You're very correct. How would we even broach this subject, as this is a likely scandal within the royal family, if my assumptions are correct, as with Little Finnegan, is a potential family with King Nanteleon. This is likely would be very compromising for the king to hear if we were to bring this subject to him.
We are threading a very thin line between betrayal and seeking a just cause. We can't just gallop towards Hereford and kidnap, capture, bring in another knight, sworn to Nanteleod through whichever form, and not have him know of it. I don't see a good way of this panning out.
It seems deceptive. I'll speak plainly on it.
Real quick, Bob, was Sir Nud a vassal knight of King Nanteleod or of someone else in Hereford?
Yeah, technically, Hereford is part of an old kingdom, but that kingdom is now part of Escavalon. So yeah, his loyalties are owed to Nanteleod.
Okay.
At the very least. And cousin, I will ride into battle with you as I've done many times before. At the very least, I think we need Nanteleod's blessing to go on such a journey.
Yes, so we do not overstep our bounds.
Sir Carlos will nod his head at this. I see. This is exactly why I asked for this meeting before any actions we're taking that may jeopardize any standing that we have within the realm.
And we have seen how our king has handled information pertaining to the boy before when we showed him the first time to our king.
It was very dubious, and if he senses a threat to his throne, he might not take that very kindly.
Indeed.
But then again, we cannot let the assault of a high-ranking officer in the realm go without justice as well. If Sir Nud stands accused, he should be brought back to Carline to state his case, nonetheless.
My question that I have, though, is if you have this witness that saw such things, why did they not inform Nanteleod then?
Sir Gwyn did not disclose his source. However, he seems somewhat concrete in his assessment that Sir Nud is the culprit. It's just that they have not disclosed this information publicly, as the aforementioned reasons.
Also, like, just out of character real quick, Collis, you were a witness directly. You just didn't recognize Nud.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to make note of that, like, you couldn't pull the knight off of your seneschal to help him out, if you remember. So you know the face, you just don't know the person, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I don't know if I had a recognized role. I don't know if I failed it or
You
not.
failed the recognize roll, so you failed to. You don't know
Okay,
who Sir
yeah.
Nud is, but you know
What he looks like.
You know what he You know what the assaulter looks
Okay.
like. They're the same person or not.
Just want to make sure. Then I guess to answer Sir Rain's question. Well, if I were to see Sir Nut's face, I would remember the culprit.
Then perhaps instead of trying to run off and do such, mention to our king that you have a possible identification for said knight and see if you can get the concrete evidence that you need to confirm it first. Then there's no need to worry about all the other business that was discussed. And justice could be served, if that is the case.
Aye, and pertaining to Finnegan's heritage, Cormac is very fond of the kid. So I believe keeping him out of harm's way will be best for now while we ascertain the truth of it.
Yes, I wanted not to bring the boy in at all. It was just an assumption of what I believe of Finnegan's heritage.
Best leave that unsaid for now.
Of course.
For the boy's sake.
Well, I guess the only thing now would be to have a very private audience with the king now.
That seems so.
Okay, so a private audience with the king. You know that there's the feast tonight. It's just gonna be another one rounder, same thing that the last couple have been, as part of this big tourney. I'm presuming that you would want to go to that and then see if you can find an audience with the king after, since he'll be there. Is that fair? Or do you want to give it more time, or what would be your approach?
I think Sir Carlos would probably do that, like maybe right after the feast. Try and see if we can get an audience with the king.
Awesome. Of anything the three of you want to do in immediate follow-up?
No, I mean, anything that I would do would be related to the offer that he had. That'd be feast type business. So.
Awesome. Okay. And I'm struggling with a record. I know I have it. I just can't find the name. Does anyone have the name? You determined that the knight who killed Orlandus was a former knight of.
Yes, it was Sir Galdric.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay.
He swore off his allegiance to King Modron.
And I just want to be clear. It was him who swore off the allegiance, not Orlandus.
Right. Orlandus was the one that was trying to rescue the boy and the woman.
Yeah, and he was an active officer in King Nanteleod's at the time of his death. He was still with Nanteleod, so he was still with the royal family. But the guy who was trying to take the boy and the girl captive was one of these former knights that was sworn off. It sounded like there were a number of Modron's personal knights that had a falling out with him over something. All kind of at once.
Right.
I will say this, actually. I want you guys... I can tell you, actually. Hold on. We got this in your family histories.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna test something here real
quick. I like tests. Tests are good.
It's the worst that can happen.
Death and destruction.
100%. What can happen, honestly?
Yeah. It's all good.
Call it Cthulhu. Yeah. Your sheet was 1 piece. Now it's 3. Okay, so just getting to the right thing. Does anyone have suspicious Cambrian mountain men +1? Or is sorry, suspicious Cambrian mountain men?
It sounds familiar. I'll have to glance at it real quick.
I do not.
Okay.
Unless one of them is a physician, because I'm suspicious of physicians.
At 1.
Okay, I'm just looking here. Oh, we never locked yours in. Anyways, I think this is a Wergar and Drax. I'm gonna give Wergar a base a base folklore roll, just
Base
flat. Yeah.
All right.
Actually, folklore +2 because this is stories from your father.
Okay.
For Drax, I want you to test suspicious
Oh.
+1. It makes sense why you're going down this avenue because like maybe this is a story you haven't put together.
Well, my character's naturally suspicious as is. So,
Yep.
am I rolling my suspicious trait itself? Yeah.
Yeah, and then adding a +1 because of your.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to roll a folklore roll +7.
Cool. No.
Yeah, we'll just say that like when there's mention of I think Drax, when they first mentioned, we'll give Rain this little piece. When they first mentioned the trouble with Madrun and falling out with some of his knights, the only thing that comes to your mind is at one point there was some sort of hunting accident involving Madrun. That your father was there to attend to him. Your father was one of the ones to immediately attend to Madrun and keep him alive. It had something to do with a hunting expedition, and the Rekianog were present for it. They were like, this is when things were a little bit, I guess, a little bit more peaceful, right? Times than Nanteleod's times. And as a result of that, your father was always very, like, I guess, well, for lack of better term, racist, but a little suspicious of the Brekianog in the Mountain Men. Just a little more, and that kind of that story bled onto you, but you're also like, yeah, that doesn't really work with what I'm hearing here.
Yeah.
Right. So just to verify, you guys are good with the feast and then the quick talk and then tell you. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Just gonna go on a very brief break, 2 minutes. I'm gonna fill up, grab a coffee, and then we'll cut back to our folks in Summerland. So I'll see you in a minute.
we're back again.
We are back indeed. All right. After Wells, fairly straightforward journey, you see the beautiful sight of the very old and ancient Glastonbury tour. You see a number of monks. It's not super populated. There are a number of monks walking along the beautiful path. Remnants of times as old as maybe perhaps the Romans, maybe before that. Um, there isn't much left in the way of major structures, save for a few um, simple huts and keeps where the brothers of the monastery are able to stay. And Cormac and Lucius, you find yourselves approaching this. You can see the marshlands just beside as you enter.
So, Pilgrim, we've arrived.
There are gates because turns out there's raiders, and you are brought in through the gates. They seem to open the door quite quickly to the two of you. Nothing about either of you screams Saxon raiders or Irish raiders or Cornish knights. So there. And even if you were Cornish knights, they would probably allow you in. So as you enter through, one of the younger brothers approaches. Might I be of assistance to the two of you? What brings you to Glastonbury today?
My name is Cormac. I live in St. Ilted. He suggested that I take a pilgrimage here to see the landing place of Joseph of Arimathea.
You've met the
To
living
reaffirm
saint.
my faith.
Tell me, is he as good as many say he is?
I am inspired by his presence, just his mere presence every time I see him. I pray that one day I will be half the man he is.
And
My
come,
fear is that
I will introduce you to the abbot bishop.
I didn't deserve this.
There's no such thing. Deserving. We are all sinners, my brother.
I'm Lucius. I'm a squire.
Welcome, Lucius.
There is like misty-eyed, like a single tear rolling down Cormac's cheek. Just he's here and he is just sort of excited to be here.
Okay.
And you know, and when he bids him follow and says that, we are all brothers, that we have all sinned, Cormac just kind of goes silent, nods his head, bows, and just follows along.
You find yourself, and I don't think it's a problem to have Lucius along, but we're kind of zeroing in. This is Cormac's pilgrimage. As you get to the abbot bishop, he's an older gentleman. He smiles and welcomes you as well. And then he asks you to walk alongside him. And you end up kind of wandering outside around Glastonbury, which is at a bit of a height, so you can see the lands around you. The abbot says, it's not always so easy for those born of noble blood to put God first. There is duty. There is the promise of glory, of riches, of familial requirements. These are all things that are cast aside for those that come into the Brotherhood. My understanding is that the living saint, Uther himself, has set you forth on this pilgrimage. But I think it not to become one of us, brother of the faith.
As a boy, I found faith the scripture. It would be easy for me to cast aside everything and join ye. Unfortunately, by my own hand, I do not have that. I didn't have that option. The choice was made for me. When an accident took the life of my elder brother, after that it fell to me to stand where he once stood. And I fear every day that the violence and everything that it requires of me will draw me further and further from the Lord's light.
It is a reasonable fear. Most are distracted. For instance, Pilgrim, you suggest that it is not so easy to cast aside your life and devote all to God. It is easy to say such things, but I found more than one instance, more than one circumstance, more than one noble does not truly mean the words they say. It is not I you have to convince. It is yourself. It is God. With that, he leads you to a building back inside. And you can tell this is a very honorific building. Something important has taken place here. There seems to be a lot of reverence in the way this building has been upkept versus everything else. He looks to the two of you and says, "Do you know what this is?" You see like an altar in the center of the room.
When Lucius will shake his head no.
What's upon the altar?
Nothing any longer. This is the original site of the Holy Grail. The first place it was taken. The first place it was kept.
King Cadward had mentioned that the grill was no longer here, but that it was safe.
King Cadwy is wise.
And kind.
Though he's not of the faith, he still protects his place. He still treats us as his vassals, as ye who would be protected. And for that, we owe him a great deal. Sir Cormac, I wish you to pray here at the altar for 3 days and 3 nights.
I do so, believe.
Only you
And
will know if this journey of faith is successful. It's a measure of your personal success, of your belief. And no bishop, no saint can tell you otherwise.
Thank you for this, Bishop. I'm in your debt.
What do you want to do, Lucius? Well, Cormac is praying.
I think Lucius will probably go to their library and read up on his Latin. Work on that. He's got to kind of get back in the books.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I'm sure, I'm sure they've got a library or something. He can just read through a bunch of text. Oh, the Grail came to England, and all of that nonsense.
Scripture.
And
Yeah.
clergy tend to be the ones best suited for reading and writing in this era, so it would make good sense to do that here. So why don't you go ahead and put a tick in that if you don't have one?
Okay, let's check it out. And I'll just be talking to the younger monks. Seriously, he broke some chains, and he screamed out with the strength of Joseph of Arimathea. It was wild.
They look at each other in the last comment like, Joseph wasn't that strong. No,
He was strong in faith.
yeah, and they're like, oh. Yeah, they're bought into this. They like Lucius. There's not a gigantic division between Roman and British Christian in this era. It's considered Christian. It's just some of the stuff is considered a bit heretical when it comes to like the Holy Grail stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there's this is way before those major fallings out happen later, and also this is for 10 division. But you get my point.
Yeah.
Cormac, for 3 days and 3
Yeah.
nights, I need you to make the following. You're gonna make an energetic roll +5. Let's start with that.
All right. Luckily, I am famously energetic. so I can't fail that.
Now you're gonna make an energetic roll flat.
All right.
Okay. On the third night, you're gonna make an energetic roll -5.
Ooh. All right. Here we go. Yes.
Okay. You do what is asked of you. The question is, how much of it is Cormac really achieving that relationship that he seeks with his faith? The one that's been distant to him. He's spoken of lots, but never felt the true connection. You were successful in your quest, and so you can do the following. You passed all 3 nights of your energetics, so that's +3. And then how many of
Alright.
your quest ticks did you have?
I only merciful and generous were the 2 that you gave me.
Merciful and generous. Okay. You're going to make a spiritual roll at +5.
All right.
This is the culmination, the answer to the question, does Cormac find his faith? Or did he just go through a whole bunch of motions? Okay.
Can I use my once a year upgrade to upgrade that to a crit?
If you'd like.
I would like to do that.
Okay. Give me 1 sec here. I'm just gonna look this up.
Okay. I think this is an appropriate time for that.
Let's plug right in. Here's that. Here we go.
The doors to the little altar explode. Ah, Super Cormac! Ah, with the strength of Sir Joseph of Arimathea.
Love it.
I could just imagine that being like a Christmas gift for a kid in like 1982. Like, I get you a Sir Cormac card. You know, he's got with the strength of Sir Joseph of Arimathea. I'm like, oh man.
Look, Mom, it's a Sir Cormac doll. He's got his hammer and his faith and his strength of Joseph of Arimathea.
Meanwhile, the bad kids get like Sir Justin dolls. He wins tournaments though. He's kind of cool.
Okay. Roll a d4 for me, Cormac.
Dos.
2. Your chase score rises by 2 and your lustful reduced by 2.
All right.
Give me a d6 roll. Your energetic
Nice.
goes up by 1 and your lazy goes down by 1. Give me 2d6 roll.
Diaz.
Your generous rises by 10. If that puts you over 20, you can keep it.
Oof. That puts me at a 26.
Give me a D4 roll.
Four.
Your modest rises by 4.
What happens if that goes above a 20?
Same thing.
Yep.
And then finally, give me a D4 for temperate.
Eins.
Okay. In that case, your temperate goes up by 1 and your indulgent goes down by 1.
Okay.
And then I need a 3d6 plus 6.
17.
Okay. You can add a new passion to your sheet. Love God.
Okay.
So depending on the angle of how this looks, you've either severely upgraded or severely downgraded, and we'll let your group decide whether or not which is which. Whether or not you're a pain in the ass now, or this is a either or it's a transformative moment for Cormac. So I think it's the thing where Lucius, you even see it in him, but like it doesn't seem fake. It's like whoa, like
Yeah.
whether or not you yourself have a belief that it's I can't remember if your character is highly worldly or highly spiritual or kind of middle of the road, but it just
He's
seems
middle of the road.
yeah. It seems authentic though. It doesn't seem mega church evangelical kind of thing. It doesn't look he's doing it for a show. All right, and then we're going to cut real briefly to uh Lucius as you are out and about, kind of wandering it's 3 days you're stuck waiting for this guy, but you're probably having like you said, you're probably having a good time. In the process, you you kind of wander around uh, the respective area, and outside, towards the marshes, you see, and I'm just gonna bring her on screen, but you see probably the most beautiful lady you've ever seen. There's just something very majestic and unique about her. It makes her stand out. She's dressed in white and blue robes, and she has. Sorry, I built all this weeks ago. And I just haven't got to it. She has like long blonde hair, and here I'll just pull out the token. So this is happening kind of outside, so it's not inside of Glastonbury Tour, but it's out near the marshlands. So you're kind of at the edge of the hill, and you see her walking in your direction.
Am I still on the grounds or am I outside the gate?
You're just outside the gate, maybe going for a little bit of a hike or a walk around the area. It's very beautiful here, like very.
Oh,
It doesn't feel as tapped into as like the rest of the island. It feels very different here.
okay. Lucius would approach the lady. Hail and well met. I am Lucius Julius Julianus. And you are?
My name is Lysandra. It's a pleasure to meet you. are you just passing through?
Delayed for a bit, but I am passing through. I'm helping a friend on a pilgrimage, and he's testing his faith now.
And for you, Lucius, are you testing your faith?
Am I testing my faith? No, I think things are kind of the way they are, and that's okay with Lucius. Me, that's okay with me. I don't normally speak about myself in the third person, you see. Hmm. Or is it the first person? I don't.
she
Hmm.
she she kind of laughs a bit. Says,
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit nervous. I don't get out very much.
"Where do you hail from?"
Well, Carline, um, between you and I'm a squire in King Nanteleod's court. I'm hoping to become a knight.
Ah, a noble cause, indeed. Hmm.
How about yourself? Where do you hail from?
Just beyond the marshlands, that way. You kind of look over there, and you're like,
Ah,
you don't see any sign of a settlement. Like,
okay. We, interesting. We've been in Summerland for some time. We've seen giants and all types of interesting things. Um, you have a beautiful land. This is a interesting place to live.
it is unique and very beautiful, as you say. With that,
You may join me. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
You may join me on my walk if you will. You can tell me of things that you've seen, and I can tell you of things that I've seen.
I would love to hear more about what you've seen, Lucius. And she'll walk with you. Um, speaking of seeing, why don't you give me an awareness roll?
Okay. He's just mid conversation, just like, and so he breaks the chain.
Yeah, you're telling him.
Yeah. And he says, with the strength of Joseph. Like, oh man. Fumble. I'm really into this story.
Yeah, you're just
I
telling.
saw it with my
And
eyes.
yeah. What do you mention about that story? Do you mention the name of the? She doesn't seem interested enough to ask about the name of the captive, but do you mention that?
I didn't get the captive's name. I know she was in the court of Lady Alabaster or was the captive Lady Alabaster. He would mention that. I don't know if she was in the court of Lady Alabaster or if she was Lady Alabaster. But that's that name is important. Not as important. So he takes the chain and he breaks it.
I see. You said alabaster.
Um, yes, Alabaster. But it's not as sir. Well, Pilgrim Cormac, right? And he just yells out with the strength of Sir Joseph of Arimathea, who is not really a strong person, but he's strong in faith. And that's what's important, I guess, in this
That is
situation.
doubling.
I love it. All of a sudden, um, you don't so much see Gwydir as you hear him approaching because of that fumble awareness mostly. But he's not alone. I'll let you, Gwydir. It's you and uh, what's his name? Man, too many games.
Just
Um,
Lucius?
no,
Oh, I'm with Cadogan.
no. Hold on, let's bring him.
That one
Rickard,
guy from
Rickard,
Summerland.
yeah. Rickard.
Rick. Oh, Rick Oak's here.
Yeah. He was the one that was going to guide you here. So your path
Oh, yeah.
here from you went through a town named Axbridge. It didn't seem of particular note, and then you ended up traveling south, and it was kind of uneventful actually. Maybe boring for you, I don't know. But you got here within like 2 days, and he traveled on foot. So you had to drive. You had to ride a bit slower than normal to allow him to keep up.
That makes sense.
Or
Oh,
if
is he
you offer, yeah, he was walking. Unless you offered,
Uh,
um,
yeah, no, I would offer him. Yeah,
okay.
offer him to sit breast up. I mean, do I have a squire? I do. I've got a squire, so I've probably got extra horses kicking around. I don't
He would
know,
not
whatever.
ride one of his own though. Just being clear to you.
Oh yeah, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, he can ride with me.
Okay.
And we're probably singing a song. Is Rickirk doesn't? Does he know any cool pagan or at least just Kimric sort of folk songs?
He would know some of the basics of like Kimric.
Yeah.
Not pagan, but probably Kimric.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We're probably just singing like a Kimric travel song or something like that.
Okay.
And Gwydia's just probably like got his hand raised and he's been waving for like several minutes, and he's just still holding it there, waving at Lucius, who was yet to see him.
I'll say,
It's
Lucy.
like, yeah,
Yeah, you hear the singing like, and then all of a sudden you like turn around and you see Udir just right there with you.
Sir Gwydir. And that's Sir Gwydir. You see, he's Sir Cormac's cousin, and Sir Cormac is a very faithful man. But Sir Gwydir, he's a pagan, as you see. And eventually, Sir Cormac will convert Sir Gwydir, and that's how that's going to go. I can call it now.
You could call a physician because I'm about to give you the beating of your life. What on earth are you talking about being converted by?
Oh, Sir Gwydir, it's good to see you. I have rations. I found you, and I brought you rations. And I've made a new friend.
I don't want any rations, but I'm interested in your friend here. This is Rickirk. He's a lovely man. His eyes are, if anything, too piercing, but he's got a good voice for a Christian.
Hail and well met, sir. I am Lucius Julius Julianus, a squire, and this is Lysandra. She lives past the marshland in that dense fog over there.
Lucius, you're going to have to stop changing your name every time I see you. It's getting confusing. Just pick one.
Well, that is my name, sir.
Lucas.
Udir, give me a recognize roll.
Very well. I have. What's the opposite of famously good? Oh, baby!
Oh, wow.
I'm ticking it.
Yeah, you look at her and almost immediately you recognize her as one of the fabled ladies of the lake.
Yeah, right.
Not one of note, just you recognize the order, you recognize the pagan.
He's like a religious level kind of figure in.
They are like it's a little more vague in the pagan aspect of this, but yes, they are a magical order within kind of a secret order, one might say, but it's all based on pagan folklore and pagan religion knowledge. But in this particular case, you just, it's not so much that you like know a ton about it, you just recognize the garb. You remember now there being something about hailing from a place called Avalon, though you don't know what that means in particular.
Gwydir leaps gracefully off his horse, landing in like a superhero power pose, one knee. My lady, what a joyous pleasure, he says.
She kind of, there was a look just before you did this too. She gives like Rickirk a nod, and Rickirk nods in turn back to her. Like there seemed to be a more of a familiar look between them. And then it's like all of a sudden it's like Gwydir's like RKO out of nowhere, just like boom, and then she's like, she kind of does that. And she's like, no need to show reverence, Sir Knight.
No need, but I rather enjoy it. It's good to be humble. I mean, it's not really, but it's good to pretend to be humble in front of people who are better than you, at least. But nonetheless, I'm happy to see you. Have you met my?
Is this your squire?
What? This no. Well, he's a squire. He's nobody's squire. He's trying to be a knight, but he's not doing a great job, frankly.
What?
This is Rickirk. He's not a squire either. This is my squire.
Your squire nods.
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name's Elliot. He's a lot quieter than Lucius. I'll give him that.
Rickard
so-
says, "Are these your friends? The ones you set out to find, Whittier?"
No, this is the Lady of the Lake, who is I would never dare claim friendship with, but if she wanted it, I'd be very happy. It seems a little too personal for somebody who I. This is Lucius, who's one of my friends. Yes, he's not my cousin, who I cannot see. I am just recognizing. Lucius, what have you done with him? Is he dead?
No, sir. He's testing his faith in an altar for 3 days and 3 nights. Sir Cormac is, and he gets all into the story. Sir Cormac has to pray for 3 days and 3 nights, and once he appears, he will be strong of faith.
That is altogether too long for such a man to be doing silly things like that. We
I'm
need to
glad
go
we're
and
friends,
interrupt
though.
him. What do we? How did you? So you're alive. Good, good. I've done my job. I haven't failed anybody, and I never will. Lucius, I have good news.
Yay.
I am champion of Summerland now. They didn't have any good knights of their own, so they had to go looking for some, and they found them in Aquitaine. He had a certain Frenchitude, they called it, to him. Anyway, so I've conquered all of their famous imported knights, and now I'm champion of Sutherland. So
I have good news too, sir. I met a giant. I gave him a sweet roll. I didn't hug him. Sir Cormac
I
said
was
hugging
there
was
for
not.
that, Lucius.
Oh, I have double good news. There was a boat, and so I was on a boat, and the boat goes ashore, and then it goes ashore for a little bit longer. And then there was no water, and I met a magician king.
He says, my lady, ignore everything he says, please. What brings you here? Have you met my girl, lady Lyriathar? I don't know what she is, but I love her a great deal. Have you met her?
I've not. No, that name does not sound familiar.
Well, you should, if you have the chance. She lives in the water. She's a seal. And I have a little boy. His name is Lethelium, and he's quite small still, but I'm sure he will be very big.
Your lady is a seal.
Well, a selkie is what she says, but
Yes,
I don't think most people know that word, so.
I'm familiar. At least through study, I've never met one. This
Well, if you'd like to, I know you. No, sorry.
Selkie is your child's mother?
Yes. There needs to be a word for that.
I believe the word is mother, sir.
No, but she's not my mother. Lucius! I'm going to throw you into the lake.
Ah.
All right, I do want to get back to Kalasarun and Rain at some point tonight, but why don't we have about this point like Cormac emerge from his
Sounds good.
yeah. And so we can give you guys a couple of minutes here. I'm gonna set it like a little bit of a limit just so we make sure we get a bit of time with the others. But go ahead.
Cormac! Gray yells and sort of probably like barges through / past Lucius and then just runs up and gives him a big bear hug.
Where have you been?
Where have
And
you
of course,
been?
it's going to be a bit of a battle to see who gets who up off the ground first in this bear.
Yeah,
hug.
that's right. Do you want to roll opposed size
All right.
or strength?
Whichever. I'm size 19.
Yeah, me too. We'll roll strength because that's probably the more appropriate stat. Through a table. As you wish. Just grab whatever you want because I lose.
We're there struggling for a bit before I just sort of just bear hug you into the air.
Oh, you've been doing push-ups this whole time, have you?
Nay, just walking. What about you? Where have you been? You just
I
leave
was
me on my own like that.
I was
With
beaten knight
Lucius
of
of all
Merlin.
people.
I hate Lucius, but I would. He
What?
needs to prove himself. I don't hate you, Lucius. I'm just saying it. He needs to prove himself. I'm glad he got you here alive. I was beaten every night in Summerlin. I'm champion of Summerlin now. It's fantastic.
Champion of some of them. Are you denouncing King Nanteleod and all that?
No, no, no. I
Really?
don't live there. I'm just the best fighter in the land. That's all.
Really? I mean, alright, but you're the best fighter in all the land here.
In the
I've
whole
never
of
seen
South of
Sir.
England, as far as I can tell. Are you done with this silly adventure? Can we go home now?
Sir Cormac broke a chain. I haven't seen you do that, Sir Gwydir.
I don't need to break chains. I break faces with my sword, Lucius. What do you think we are, blacksmiths?
The lady was in trouble. We rescued her. That's
Wait,
what
this
we
one
did.
here.
That's the important thing to remember. Not who broke a chain with his bare hands.
This lady here.
No. We dropped the Lady Alabaster in Wells, and then came here from there.
Well, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Did you see Jesus?
Nay, he's been dead quite a while. But I did have a moment to reflect upon my life and everything like that. Gwydir,
And
my cousin, I need you to understand something. It may have been my fault, but I can't let it dictate the rest of my life. You were right this entire time.
you're a pagan now?
Nay. Don't. Nay. No, you weren't right about that. I promise at some point you will see the light of God eventually. If you choose to. No, what I'm saying is Finnegan,
Pendragon? What
my
about him?
brother.
Oh, your
It was
brother,
my
not the little
fault.
one.
No, my brother, not my son. I've blamed myself for so long, lived with a guilt that you've told me time and time again is not my own. You're right.
Yes, I'm
I
right.
was wrong.
Why would I tell you something I wasn't right about? I wouldn't say anything if I wasn't. Oh,
I mean,
Cormac.
you're wrong quite often.
Well, not this time. And not in
No,
any way that
not this
anybody's
time.
been
You're
able to
right.
prove yet.
You're not wrong this time. That's
Oh,
why
Cormac.
I wanted to tell you.
Well, look, I'm glad. I am. I think you're a better man than you give yourself credit for, Cormac. I just somebody's going to spend. Somebody's going to kill you one day, Cormac. You don't have to kill yourself.
Somebody's gonna try. I
Aye.
didn't think they're gonna succeed though.
To get past me first, and as I've already established, I'm the greatest swordsman in England. So, not that England exists, of course, but it will one day.
All right, guys, we're gonna move away to the other group here. If you guys are cool with that, we've got a one.
Aye.
Sorry.
Did Lucius? Did you have a parting shot you wanted to take there? Anything?
Oh, no, thumbs up. We're good.
Okay.
You sure?
Sure.
You want to say something?
You can.
You could roll. You could try to flirt with the Lady of the Lake while Gwydir is distracted. Shoot your shot, bro.
Do it. Make your move, bro. I believe in you.
You know, while he was breaking that chain, ma'am, I also assisted. See, I could have wrote down and fed the woman in the cage rations on a spear. It could be a fresco one day or a mosaic. You know,
Yeah.
a young Roman aquiline nose individual handing a woman a ration on a spear.
All
I'm
right.
saying.
Give me just out of hilariousness, give me a flirting roll.
All right. Wait, that is press something. All right, flirting roll. Let's see. Heart of the cards.
As long as it's not like a fumble, it's gonna be a similar effect.
Submit.
Bob, you
Oh.
always say. Hey!
There
Oh,
we go.
got
Oh
it!
snap! Let's go. Let's go.
Hell yeah, hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Aquiline knows.
She'll smile at you. I think there's a she likes Lucius's infectious positivity, and I don't think you're left with an understanding of it. Like, but she's polite and nice to you. She enjoys your company, but she does keep a distance from anything beyond that.
Yeah, lady smiled at me. Hey,
Yeah.
that's good. That's
If
a
you
good
want to
day.
turn that into an amour after a successful flirting roll, you may do so. Though, if you want
Do
to
it.
have an amour for her,
Do it.
What would that entail? The amour.
it's a passion, something you can call on. It's also something that can affect you. It can make you miserable at times.
You know what? I'll go with it. Amour, Lysandra.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that this is probably the first time a lady has like smiled at Lucius. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like,
he's a big kid now.
exactly.
Yeah, he's a big kid. He's about to be one of the biggest kids in Knights of Nanteleod. Man, there's not a
Exactly.
lot of us.
What number should I put next to the passion?
Roll 3d6 flat.
3d6 flat. Oh boy. All right.
Gets all sixes.
Hell yeah. All of the sixes.
11.
Oh snap.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
well,
okay. That's okay.
That's
good.
solid.
That's good.
Yep. It can climb up naturally too through certain actions and stuff like that. But for now, an amour is like it's an
Amour.
unactioned love, basically. Once it's actioned, it turns into love. Is kind of how the system works. So,
Makes sense.
all right. Cutting over gears, we're gonna give Collis, Rune, and Rain. Please give me an app test, please. Let's see how your app is doing.
Let's see. Oh, wait, we gotta. Can we add the all of the jewelry stuff to the app roll or not?
Well, we get our ring for
I think
sure.
it all sums up to 1.
Yeah, I think
Well, I have
some,
other stuff.
I think your jewelry surmises. Well, you know what? Just roll. It's fine for this one rounder.
Just flat.
No. You add your jewelry. But I
Damn.
think it summarizes to 1 if I remember the system correctly. And then you can.
Well, still fails. Yeah.
Oh,
Unless my sword counts. My sword's really fancy.
you know what this is?
Make it a
You know what
pretty-
this
pretty-
is? This is like because Collis organized the thing, so of course he gets near the salt. But for Rune, I think for Rain, you're used to being below the salt. For Rune, however, your seat, the seat that you thought you were going to land in, was conveniently taken by a number of Sir Justin's friends that are plotting his success for the feast. Since this
Swear to God.
its particular round is about praising the celebrating the victor of the tourney, Sir Justin, which we rolled out, which is pretty hilarious. So I think it's pretty hilarious that he probably wouldn't have had a shot in hell if all of Sir Ithel's like people didn't fall around him, so that he was outnumbered like 4-1. Basically, I think Sir Ithel was set to win that otherwise. But
Dice
nevertheless,
gods are fickle.
yeah. So yeah, that's the situation. We're gonna go to Collis first. It's just a 1-rounder, and then we'll do that brief scene and then Nanteleod, and away we go. Hey, Wartorn Knight, this is Pendragon, version 5.2. It comes with a fancy feast system that's pretty fun. Should recall the cards here real quick.
Cards are the best part.
The cards are the best part.
Yeah, I haven't done cards in a while. I'll do that.
All
You're
right.
morally obliged.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Oh. Good times.
Uh-oh. Someone's in trouble.
So for everyone tuning in, just as a side point, we all hate Sir Justin.
Lying. He's lying.
With a face like that, how could you hate Timberlake?
Hate him. Hate him.
So-
Just enough Timberlake. We
Yeah.
hate him.
Okay, what do you want to choose here, Hollis?
I get a tick on lust. I don't think lustful has anything to do with being a 3-9. No, it doesn't. Alright. Well, the more drink, I don't think that really gives me anything.
Oh, it can.
And make you roaring drunk. But yeah, you're right. There's not a multiple rounds
Yeah.
this round, so that's true.
Yeah. I'll do a lady of the night.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
runs in the
of course
family.
he is.
It runs in the family.
Okay.
So, love or chase.
Yeah. So you're testing one of those versus your lustful to determine outcome.
Just
I'll
leave
just-
his face at once. His face sucks. I'm gonna go down.
I'll just do chase versus lustful.
Hey, that's a good start. Good start.
He's gonna crit lustful.
Oh, chase wins. Yep.
Yeah.
Oof, bears.
Okay.
I thought you were a pagan.
The inner voice in Collis is like, damn it, I was so close.
It's like, that's not what I wanted. Why did I back out of that?
You are a pagan. You just don't have to pay for it.
I mean, yep, yeah.
Yeah, you so you get one geniality, and you get to take
Take
chase.
the trait of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You rolled the lowest one, didn't you? So that the other one would win. I love it. Out of a more chase or love. I guess you don't have those other two, do you? All right, so that's your.
I have it no more.
Do you? Yeah. All good. So you get a tick to chase though in this case. This is what you rolled. That brings us to Rune.
We're gonna draw cards as well. What do I got here?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot to name the feast. Roast pheasant, stuffed boar, and roast larks.
Sounds
love
delicious.
Yeah, I am sad I'm missing this one.
Definitely not fairy lore. Yeah, I'm a roll.
Miss the next round. You can't miss the next round anyway, so.
I'm gonna do secret dish is the one I'm gonna do.
Oh wait, actually there is a negative to this. If you're assuming they're going to talk to Nanteleod after this, if you're going as a group, you won't be able to do it if your indulgence succeeds. Because you'll be missing the next round.
I guess we shall see.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
wanted to
that's
throw it
all
out
on
there.
Collis anyways, so.
I guess we shall see.
Oh!
Nice.
Oh.
So, you get +1 geniality, you crit, you also get your temperate automatically goes to 17.
Heck yeah. Do I take it too?
Nope, you get a tick in loyalty to your player knight's order. So this could be. Do you guys have a loyalty to each other yet?
No.
I
Yeah,
have
no,
a loyalty.
that's
I have a loyalty to someone.
I have a loyalty to Jetston.
Some of you
You
guys
have a loyalty
did a
to
ring
Justin.
exchange, right? Of some sort.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
They
did.
all have the rings.
Yeah.
I made everyone a ring. That's what we should call it. We should call ourselves the Knights of Gwydia.
No. No.
We'll discuss what that is, but you get a tick to that. So we'll roll those out at the beginning of the next session
All
to see
right.
what that looks like. Because that's my bad for not honestly turning that should have been a moment where we rolled that to begin with. So, oops. Okay, that is your action. You get +1, then you get how many geniality you get. You're below the salt though, so you only get 2.
I mean, I can't win all of the feasts. Come on.
Wait, hold on.
You've had a pretty good track record.
+1 geniality plus a check, so you actually get 3.
Maybe I do win all of the feasts. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. You get 1 for the card, then 1 for the card bonus, and then 1 for the crit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That brings us to Rain.
Cards.
Let's see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Are you part of our dynasty?
Eh,
I mean, a lady in you is a host card. You have to choose that.
I
one.
have to choose that one. Yeah, it's priority. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Didn't-
And then yeah.
Didn't we establish a lady that you spoke with prior?
I have. That was. Let's
She was
see.
from here. I remember that. Lady.
Lady O'Leary. I have an Amor with. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just say that she's like do we establish who her father is?
I think we had it rolled out, but I don't know if I have any notes on that.
Yeah, I don't
It would
think
have been.
we don't typically
it was
roll
just whatever.
like we don't typically
Yeah.
define that. So I'm
Right.
gonna say that it's let me
I
just
might
check
write this
something. This is oh, that didn't work. This is Cadwigan's daughter.
Which
Actually,
one's
she's
that?
from Carlion, right? Specifically. I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
So it has to be someone from Carlion, and Cadwigan
Yeah.
is a Castellan elsewhere.
Okay.
But she could still be from Carlion, like just
What
because
if
he's.
she's Justin's sister?
Oh,
You better
jeez.
not.
No.
You better not.
I actually like that. That's done. Yeah, that's
You
done.
better not.
Okay.
God dang it.
Justin's sister. Okay.
It makes
Okay.
sense why she's like important right now because she's like part of the celebratory family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You're
good.
welcome, Yampa.
We hate Justin, people. We hate Justin.
Okay. Let's see. So.
Dad, sit there and go for his hot sister too.
Honestly, that would be the best revenge, maybe.
That is true.
You know,
That is true.
that'd be
That's true.
devious.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
so there's nothing else to that card. It's literally just time spent, which that's fine. I mean, because Rain actually finds her, interesting and attractive. So
Yeah, we'll give you the
And
two
she's a skilled
geniality.
hunter as well, which is awesome.
Yeah. There is another key point. If
Oh, yeah?
at the end of the host, at the end of the card,
Oh,
at the end
yeah.
of the feast, you
Yep.
can petition the host for permission to court the lady. Formally.
Cool.
So, do you want to? I guess because it is the end of the feast.
I mean, he will when he speaks with Nanteleod, probably, because he has to discuss the whole forest.
You're
thing
going
too.
with call. Okay.
Well, as long as it's not going to miss anything for me, since we're going to be meeting with him anyways.
Yeah, you're going with Collis, right? You are.
Yeah. Yep.
And is Rune as well going with Collis to talk to Nanteleod?
Yeah.
All right, the three of you go before King Nanteleod.
Okay.
Who doesn't have a picture working, apparently.
Yeah, it's hit or miss for some reason. Sometimes it pops up and other times it don't.
Yeah, it didn't like me that time. But anyways, you know what he looks like? No, it's still broken over there, too. Damn it. Anyways,
Yeah, this guy.
Sir Carlos will approach and kneel before King Nanteleod.
Nanteleod will turn to you. I guess not entirely shocked, to see you here. You are, after all, some of his household knights, and he says, Carlos, Rune, I wanted to say to you, Carlos, it was an excellent idea, this whole tourney. I'm surprised such a simple place as Salisbury was the one to arrange it first, but it seems to have some merit. I'm glad we followed suit.
Yes, my king. It turned out very well. Only some small injuries here and there. However, thankfully, no one was severely injured. And I think this tournament taught everybody a valuable lesson to stay ready in the face of a potential armed conflict.
Indeed. I'm glad that we didn't suffer any true casualties, and I know many took hard falls, but it just goes to show you what true warfare will be like. Now our men are battle ready, and that will be needed. I think next year is the year.
Well, I am with you every step of the way, my king. And I additionally wanted to seek an audience with you. He'll look around as I'm assuming people are starting to file out of the feast hall.
He says, very well. And then he looks to Ithel to arrange it, and we'll say over the next hour or so, people funnel out. He's one of the last to leave. I don't know why all these are broken, but we'll fix them later.
That's because I Batista bomb it though.
Yeah, no,
Out of the scene.
Yeah. Good plan. You after a while, Ithel brings everyone secures a room. Basically, everyone's gone, and then you go back into one of the halls behind the feast room, and you find yourselves in a private audience with the king. Assume all three of you are there?
Yeah, Sir Rain is off to the side and behind Sir Carlos as he's letting him do his business first. Because, Sir Rain has no real influence on what he's going to speak with. He's here for his own issues. This goes.
Yeah, Rune is standing next to his cousin though, to show support.
You are my household knights. You have my ear. What is the matter of importance?
Yes, my king. It is on the matter of the attack on your officer, Sir Cerdic. I know that I talked with the knight leading the investigation, Sir Gwyn, if I am not wrong.
You're correct.
I asked him about how the investigation was going because I was curious on what had been found so far. And additionally, I thought it my obligation to potentially help in the investigation, as I was one of the first to witness the attack and was unable to do much as the attacker threw me back.
I understand.
And Sir Gwyn stated that they have a likely culprit. And his name is Sir Nud, if I remembering correctly.
Yes, yes, you are.
I see.
And I believe he is a vassal knight under you in Hereford, my king.
Ah, Sir Nut of Hereford. Yes. I do remember that name.
Now, this is just a lead on a potential suspect for the attack. However, since I was, I think, the only witness to the actual attack, I can remember the person's face and how they looked, and see if the Sir Nud is actually the man behind the attack or not. And I can't exactly go gallivanting around asking a plethora of questions to another vassal knight randomly. So I was asking for a potential blessing to follow up on this potential lead, my king.
One sec. I want to test something here real quick. Oh no. Okay.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
Okay. He says, I understand your desire, Sir Callis, to confirm your testimony, and I would encourage you to seek audience with Sir Gwyn to organize a trip to Hereford if you must. But I must ask, why precisely have you brought Sir Rune and Sir Rain in a company with you? It seems you would have a much more simple route. I'm sensing that perhaps there's more to this.
The Rune is my favorite cousin, and we are pretty much in the company of each other almost all the time of every day. So he is lending his support to me, and if I am questioning why Sir Rain is here, if I assume correctly, I think he has different business.
Give me an intrigue real quick, actually. See if you pick it. See if you're faster on your foot with something here.
Yeah, flat correct.
Correct.
Unless you want a
Okay.
passion.
You remember that Rain has recently been titled something that would be very useful when going in a forest. He has a new position amongst Nanteleod. So that wasn't your purpose for it, but it would certainly be a good excuse. If you're picking up on what I'm putting down. Otherwise, I can spell it out a little bit more for you.
Pretty much tell King Nanteleod that he's here to talk about his potential title.
No, I was referring more so that you're going into the forest and he's been named the Royal Forester.
Yeah.
So it'd be a good excuse as to why you brought him along. Is that if you were to need to go to Hereford, bringing the Royal Forester with you would be wise. You don't have to use that route. I'm just throwing it out there as something that, something you're aware of.
I think Sir Carlos would use that route to sort of try and get his way over to your ford.
Okay. So with that, Nanteleod nods and says, "Very well. We'll address this matter as it comes. I do want justice for my seneschal. It's important."
Sir Rain would wait a minute and see if Sir Carlos was finished with his business before he would step forward for himself, and he'd kneel before the king. My king, I would like to request permission to court Lady Illyri properly. We've been speaking for quite some time now.
Cadogan's daughter.
Yes, my king.
Or, sorry, got that backwards.
No.
Justin's sister.
Sister, yeah.
I think you see Sir Rune just look at Rain with content. Like, all right, bro. I see what you're doing.
So I seek your blessing in the pursuit of such things, my king. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity as your forester to aid the others in this investigation.
Normally, household knights such as yourself, it's difficult to upkeep a family here in the castle in Carline, but you are titled now, and I believe it should come with the appropriate rewards. I approve of your marriage.
Thank you, my king. I will let her know the great news.
Has anybody spoken to Justin of this?
Nope.
Nope. It's going to be fun.
All right.
We hate Justin, guys.
Guys, and I think that will be our wrap-up point. Is there any parting shots from any of you before we close her?
Nope. Sir Rain is about as giddy as he can actually express without actually expressing it, because he's so collected usually.
Rune is definitely giving his back to Sir Rain. He is not approving of his decisions.
When we come back together next week, it's going to be a little bit more time dealing directly with the trip to Hereford. We're going to skip past the journey part of it and get right into the meat of arriving there. And then once we've done that, we'll be bringing the group back together in Escavalon. So I hope everyone had a great time. And if you're watching, we do this every Friday with this group. And then I have sibling games on Sunday and Tuesday set in the same world. Thanks for watching. Anything anyone wants to shout out, or can I go ahead and close her down for tonight?
We hate Justin. Don't forget.
The end.
He's biased. No issue here.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for watching. And go ahead. Sorry. Right.
I was just saying thanks.
I was getting trigger happy there.
Great week.
Yeah. We'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Take it easy, guys. It was fun.
Yeah.
All right, people.